Hey, what's up guys, Phil here, and this is a review of the GE Cafe Couture Toaster Oven with Air Fry. Thank you to Best Buy for sending me this product for free to try. This is the toaster oven. It measures 14 inches tall, 18.5 inches wide, and 17 inches deep. Above the oven door are the controls, and the unit has a stainless steel finish all around, weighs nearly 30 pounds, and is vented on both sides. The door handle and control knobs are a copper accent color. At the back are additional heat dissipation vents, and the plastic bracket on the back acts as a cord wrap as well as wall spacer to ensure that there's enough airflow behind the machine. The oven comes with a 12-inch non-stick pizza pan, wire cooling rack with feet on the bottom, 1-inch tall air fry basket, and a roasting pan that doubles as a drip tray. Inside, the capacity is 0.8 cubic feet and entirely stainless steel. There are 3 rack levels, 4 ceramic heating elements at the top, and 2 along the bottom, protected by wire cages. The chunky feet in each corner lift the unit off the counter about half an inch, with enough room underneath to store the included pizza pan. They also allow the handle of the door to float just above your countertop when the door is opened, rather than smacking into it. Around the perimeter of the door are rubber gaskets to prevent the door from slamming, and a safety switch turns off heating while the door is open. At the top left are start and cancel buttons, then you have the LCD with light toggle, settings, convection, and crisp finish buttons, a cook mode dial selector, and a time and temperature dial that can be pressed in to confirm your selections and switch options. The appliance comes with a quickstart card, and the QR code takes you to the smartphone app, as this appliance can be set and controlled remotely from a mobile app on your phone. You'll also receive a user manual and recipe booklet that contains a handful of recipes to get you started. The top and sides of this machine will get very hot during operation, so it's recommended that you don't store or leave anything on top of it during or after cooking. The unit requires 4 inches of clearance at the back, sides, and top for ventilation, so you'll need to budget for that when determining space requirements. While I love the look of stainless steel, its one drawback is that it picks up fingerprints easily, so regular cleaning is necessary to keep it looking new. Turning the setting dials will activate the display. You'll first choose your cook mode from options like air fry, bake, broil, roast, reheat, warm, slow cook, dehydrate, proof, cookies, pizza, bagel, and toast. Then select the temperature with the other dial before pressing it to confirm and switch to cook time. Each mode has its own range of times and temperatures appropriate for that cooking method. For example, air fry lets you select from 200 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and from 1 minute up to an hour, while dehydrate narrows that selection to 90 degrees to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, but you can run it for up to 24 hours. Certain modes allow you to toggle convection on or off, including bake, roast, reheat, and pizza, while other modes will always use convection, for example air fry, slow cook, and bagel, or disable convection when it's not needed, for settings like warm, proof, and toast. After you've made your selections, just press start to begin preheating, which you'll be able to track on the screen via the progress bar along the bottom. The cook time will not start counting down until you press the start button again, which you can do at any time, even if the unit hasn't finished preheating. Once cooking is started, the progress bar resets to show cooking progress based on the time remaining. This countertop oven can accommodate cooking accessories like this half-dozen muffin tray or a 9x9 square cake pan. So, let's bake up some muffins. First I'll select Bake Mode, then set the temperature to 350 Fahrenheit and time to 25 minutes, before hitting Start to preheat. At the end of the preheat cycle, the machine beeps several times and displays Ready on the screen. Now is when you should put your food inside the oven, and you'll need to press start again to begin the cook time countdown. If you don't press start afterwards, the machine will beep again after a few minutes to remind you. But if you don't start the cook program within 10 minutes of preheating, the machine powers down automatically. For these muffins, I don't actually need convection, so I'll press that button to shut off the fan. At any time during the cooking process, you can adjust the time and temperature as needed. Also, when you open the oven door during cooking, this will pause the timer until you close the door. But again, you must do this within 10 minutes. This conveniently allows you to check doneness, add ingredients, or stir your food without losing any cook time. When the cook timer is finished, the machine beeps once again and turns off the heating elements while displaying done on the LCD. These muffins look great. The nice part about the included rack is that you can remove it and it becomes a cooling rack. The muffins came out nicely browned and evenly cooked, and that's without having to rotate the tray halfway through, since the temperature inside is circulated uniformly. Now let's try making some home fries in air fry mode. I'll be using both the air fry basket and a smaller baking tray for dual level cooking. And just look at these golden brown crisp potatoes in the basket. The ones on the solid tray aren't cooked as much. 1, because they were below the air fry basket, and 2, because the solid tray limits airflow around the food. So I'll be putting these back in using the air fry basket to finish them off. The Crisp Finish button is a one-touch button that you can press next to the LCD instead of using the mode dial. And you can adjust the time and temperature just like with any other mode. Each mode also remembers the settings that you used last, which is convenient if you tend to make the same things again and again. This gives you potentially 14 different presets that you can have for your favorite foods. You can also gently reheat food like this barbecue chicken, and this helps keep the food moist and tender inside. If using for bread products, selecting bagel or toast lets you choose how many slices you're toasting and the shade of your final product. Pizza mode is interesting because your selections are based on the pizza's size, 6, 12, or 9 inches. And after making that selection, time and temperature are selected for you automatically. Of course, you can change these at any time if you need to. For this pizza, convection was probably unnecessary, since it's thin crust and looks a bit overdone, but it came out pretty good nonetheless. Just under the door is the handle for removing the crumb tray for cleaning. Just remember to replace it before using the machine again. For regular cleaning, after the machine has cooled down after use, wipe it down with a damp, soft cloth, taking extra care around the heating elements. The cages around them guard against damage, but not drips and spills. However, you shouldn't touch or wipe down the elements directly as they're fairly delicate. To avoid drips onto the lower heating elements, I recommend always using a baking tray above them to catch oil, liquid, or crumbs. And stick to using the wire rack or air fry basket in either of the 2 upper rack positions. The thing that makes this oven smart is its ability to connect to your Wi-Fi network and monitor and control cooking using the GE Smart HQ app. Setup takes only a few minutes, and the password for the appliance's Wi-Fi network is printed on a sticker at the back of the unit. For safety reasons, the oven can only be started remotely after physically pressing and holding the start button on the front of the machine for 3 seconds. And you'll only have 10 minutes to choose the settings and start the machine from your mobile device before this ability expires. While that makes sense since you don't want to start the oven if you don't know whether or not it's safe to do so, it also limits the situations in which this might actually be useful. But regardless of whether you started the oven remotely or manually, you can change the cooking time and temperature or cancel cooking using the app. Changing the setting on the machine automatically updates in the app after a few seconds, and vice versa. Note though, if you try changing the cooking mode remotely, cooking will be cancelled and you'll need to start the machine again manually. Overall, I think it's a great countertop oven with a variety of options, making it a versatile small appliance. It preheats quickly and is excellent for small batch cooking, so I don't have to fire up my big oven, and the addition of convection helps me cook food faster, more evenly, and with less work than traditional baking. The air fry oven is ideal for crisping up frozen fried foods too, like french fries and fried chicken. You do need to remember to press start a second time after preheating and putting your food in the oven. However, you have the option of turning off preheating in the settings altogether. While the thing that makes it smart is the app's remote control, I find that its practicality is somewhat limited. I hope you enjoyed this review. You can ask me any questions in the comments. I'll put a link to the product in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join me next time.